Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a family game night video about a specific type of thing in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons called cursed items. Um, one of the really great ways that a dungeon master can really screw with players is to slip a cursed item into a treasure hoard. And for those of you who aren't familiar with gaming like that, players generally go out and they go on missions and they find a big bad enemy to defeat, and they defeat this enemy, be it a monster or a big enemy, powerful wizard, whatever. And immediately they head over and start searching through his pile of treasure, as it were. And dragons usually keep it in a pile and they lay on it because they like it. They're greedy, usually. Um, Other people keep it in a storeroom or a treasure room or a vault or whatever. Some people just bury it. You don't know. But after you defeat the bad guy, you go get his treasure. That's what everybody does. That's one of the big things about D&D. Um, Treasure usually includes coinage, gemstones, different kinds of coins, gold, silver, platinum, that kind of thing. Gemstones, valuable jewelry, and magic items. Magic items can be good or bad. Good magic items include things like a +2 sword, a sword that gives you a +2 to hit and a +2 to damage. And they have lots of different kinds of weapons, spears, axes, swords, things like that. And then they have other things like a ring, magic ring of protection. Ring of protection gives a bonus to somebody's armor class if they're not wearing armor. Works good for wizards and things like that, people who can't wear armor. Other magic items include things like a broom of flying, portable hole, bag of holding, that kind of thing. And portable hole and bag of holding, I think I talked about them in some other videos. Portable hole, you lay it out. It's a piece of cloth. You unfold it and lay it out, and it becomes a hole in the ground. You store all your stuff in there and fold it back up and put it in your pocket. And later on, you need it. You throw it on the ground, unfold it, throw it on the ground, and the hole's there with your stuff in it. Called a portable hole. A bag of holding it looks like a normal bag, but it holds a whole bunch more than what normally a normal bag would hold. So they're good for carrying stuff. I think I talked about it in the encumbrance video. So go check that one out. But there's also bad magic items. They have a thing called a backbiter, which is generally a spear or a bow. When you shoot it, the arrows will zoom around and hit you in the back. You throw a spear and it loops around and comes and hits you in the back. It's called a backbiter. It's a cursed item. Missile attractor. They have a shield that attracts missiles. And you can be devious and put that in other things, like an amulet that's, that looks real fancy. And it's got a magic charm on it, something simple like, invisibility or whatever. But the the missile attractor, missiles that are aimed anywhere in the general area turn and hit you. Arrows, spears, ballista bolts, that kind of thing. One of the other fun things is they find a rack of what are called potions. A potion is an alchemical composition, a liquid in a little flask, and you drink it and it has an effect. Like, for example, they have healing potions. They have potions of heroism to make you, more capable in battle. They have a potion of strength, which temporarily increases your strength. They have potions of invisibility. You drink it and you become invisible. Things like that. And you have potions, like a dozen of them in a thing, all labeled healing potions, except one of them is a poison potion, cursed poison potion. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do that. And the bad part about cursed items is that they appear as normal or even beneficial magic items. A good example of this is in the movie The Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, and the Lord of the Rings movies. The One Ring is a ring of invisibility. It works pretty good. Only problem is it's tied to Sauron, and Sauron if he gets it, he becomes the big bad guy and destroys the world. So it's an artifact. But And the whole point of that movie is they have to go destroy the ring. But my point is, a cursed item appears as a normal item or a magic item. That's a beneficial thing. So you want to keep it around. See. Um, and of course they reveal themselves when they're used, which usually is when you need it to work the way you think it works, but it don't work the way you think it works. It's a cursed item. Magic users generally have a spell at first level called Identify, and that spell is used to identify magic items. The problem with that is most, in order to identify an item, you have to wear it. Like for example, or hold it like you were going to use it. Like if you're going to identify a sword, you hold a sword. If you're going to identify a ring, you have to put the ring on, which might activate the curse. You see what I'm saying? So most magic users charge extra to cast remove curse on it before they, just to be on the safe side. And that's generally as they do it. Many wizards who don't use the remove curse before they try to identify something find out that trying to identify that particular item was the final act they ever did, because a lot of them end up dead. There was a barbarian in one of our games years ago, run by a guy named David. David was not the brightest bulb. He ran barbarians because I don't think he could handle anything else. But the point I'm getting at is, they found they had killed a monster and they had this huge treasure hoard, and in one of these things they found what was a girdle, a belt, a magic belt. And rather than have it identified, David said, "Oh, that's a magic belt, I can use that." And he grabbed it and he put it on. They have a standard cursed item in the game called a girdle of femininity and masculinity. So David's big bad barbarian grew boobs and lost a part of his anatomy he didn't really want to lose. Yeah. Dave wasn't happy. And not only that, he ended up getting killed because in the course of the game he tried to seduce, use the feminine part that he now was, and he tried to seduce the wrong person, and that person killed him. So yeah, the cursed item got him killed not only by switching his gender, but gave him a sense that he had to use that. Rather than, he could have went and got the, taken the belt off and went and got it removed or fixed or whatever. But rather than do that, he tried to use it. David wasn't the brightest bulb, but at any rate, yeah. So if you play Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, watch out for those cursed items, because sometimes a magic item is always a good thing. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.